It's very hard to let go of what's working for you. If it isn't working for you, it's a little easier, but when it's working, it's hard to let go. Transformation is when the change starts to be picked up and carried by people who wanted no part of it in the first place. And there's a story behind that. Many, many years ago in my career, I worked for Amdahl Canada, and it was a 220-person company competing with IBM in the mainframe space, successfully, right? Wildly successfully in this country, in fact. And the management made the decision that there were major changes that were required in the business that would change everything from how we managed people and evaluated staff to what we did with the product line and how we sold it and what our target markets would look like. Huge, huge wrenching change. They put butcher paper up in the front lobby of their offices, which at that time were in First Canadian Place, right? Covered the mahogany with this butcher paper and left Sharpies beside it. When you were ready to join the journey into this change, you went and signed the butcher paper. Nobody pressured you to do it. Now, it's a hokey device, but it makes the point that I think really matters. You have to come to it as an individual. And we talked each other into making the change. Management didn't do it for us. They merely created the opportunity. That was back in the 1980s, highly successful, still works today. A client that doesn't want to be leading edge isn't necessarily one that should avoid making change early. There's two kinds of change involved here. There's product change, and then there's organizational change. You can have a very stable conservative organization and still take your products early. Watch them as the normal S curve is unfolding, where the market builds and builds, and then it starts to slow down in its build, and you begin to grow by acquiring your competitors. That's the time to start developing and delivering the next wave of products, long before this one's actually exhausted. Now that's absolutely in conformance with a tight financial ship, strong procedures, etc. So the two are very different things, but they often get conflated, and that's why the conservative firms don't tend to take advantage of this and thus get into trouble.